Welcome, families. On behalf of the Washoe County School District, my name is Casey Edgington. I'm the kindergarten facilitator for the school district. We want to welcome you today to the virtual kindergarten event. Today, we will share the importance of kindergarten, what to expect in kindergarten registration steps, and answer your questions about kindergarten. Please submit your questions to questions@washoeschools.net, or we encourage you to ask questions through the Q&A icon on the bottom of the screen. We will do our best to respond to all questions. Should your questions not be addressed here, you can email it to questions@washoeschools.net. We also want to remind our viewers that personal attacks and racist, hateful, and derogatory comments are discouraged, and we will not be responding to such language. In the early years, children are constantly learning and growing. They learn many things by watching others, but social interaction is one of the most important things they learn best by experiencing it for themselves. School is the ideal place for your child to learn social skills like making friends, communicating with others, and working together, as well as academic skills. Most importantly, we believe in the importance of partnering with your child's teacher. Please reach out to the teacher or school at any time. You're the most important teacher in your child's education, and we want to work together throughout the year. I would like to introduce you to elementary school principal at Mamie Tolles Elementary, Rhonda Van Duzen. So Rhonda, if you want to go ahead and take your camera and your microphone off.
Hi, my name is Rhonda Van Dusen. I'm the principal at Mamie Tolles Elementary School in the Washoe County School District. And I just wanted to say a couple things about the importance of parent involvement with parents with sending their students to kindergarten. One of the most important things I believe in is that attendance. So if you can get your child to school every day, except when they're sick, of course, that is the best thing you can do for your child. A consistent education where they're reviewing things, new things, and then reviewing information and learning is so important. So for them to make the connections every day, students need to be at school every day. So if you can really make it a priority that all students attend school every day and on time. Also, I would believe with the same as Casey about staying in contact with your child's teacher. Many schools, including my own, we use the Classroom Dojo, and that's a really quick and easy way for you to stay connected to your child's teacher, not just in kindergarten, but all the way up through the grade levels. And all it does is require a sign-in that your teacher will give you on back to school night, I guess. And you can receive messages right on your telephone. You can text the teacher in real time. And of course, they can't get back to you right away because they are teaching, but at least you know that you can make contact with them throughout the day. Volunteering, we don't know yet about volunteering this year in the classroom. If the restrictions are lifted for volunteers, we welcome volunteers, parents in the classroom, to help the classroom teacher to just make that transition a little bit easier and to just know what your student is learning in the classroom. At my school, at Mamie Tolles, parents are welcome, except for COVID time, and hopefully that'll be lifted pretty soon. But even if you just want to come in and observe, that's a good way to kind of get an idea of what's going on in the school, in the classroom, and what your child is learning. If you can make a point to read with your children every day, starting today, make reading fun. Go to the public library, get some books. You might see some books even on the iPad, on the Washoe County Public Library website. Those are all great places to find books that will interest your child and increase their vocabulary. And that is one of the biggest determinations of how easy it is going to be for kids to read, is how much of a vocabulary they have in English. And the best way to increase vocabulary is to be read to. So please take that 10 minutes a night and read to your child. It will last them forever. Also, look at in your child's backpack every night and see if there's any important messages. A lot of times teachers will have a Friday folder that goes home, or maybe a Thursday folder, whatever day of the week. that the teachers have agreed upon. And just make sure you clean out that backpack at least once a week. There might be some old food in there. There could be important messages. There could be also things that you have tried to give to the teacher, communications that maybe your child forgot to take out of the backpack. So you need to follow up with that as well. Limiting screen time is always a plus, not eliminating it, but just limiting it. That goes TV, video games, iPad, phone, and just keep in contact with your school. Know that we are all welcoming parents to your child's beginning part of their education. And the more you stay involved, the better your child will do. So welcome to Washoe County School District, and welcome to kindergarten.
Thank you, Rhonda. That was great advice. Funny, I found a sandwich, half sandwich, just last week from a few weeks ago in my daughter's lunchbox. So that was a really important one. Thank you so much. So today we also have two kindergarten teachers joining us, Connie Hall and Yamilet Velasquez. Connie Hall's been teaching since 1994 and is currently a kindergarten teacher at Diedrichson Elementary School. Yamilet Velasquez has been teaching since 2012 at Risley Elementary School. So Connie, would you like to get us started?
Hello, and it's nice to be with you families this afternoon and to just share a few things that will be helpful for you to know as your child begins kindergarten. And there's some that I just want to share that goes along with how the principal mentioned about attendance. And with being helpful with the attendance is making sure you establish some good bedtime routines, making sure your child is getting 9, 10 to 11 hours of sleep at night so they're rested and they're ready to focus and be attentive when school starts the next day. And that is something that you can start with this summer. Also with toileting, this is something different. They're going to be in school and they're not going to be at home or having assistance like they normally would when you're with them one-on-one. So make sure your child is able to zip, unzip, or to work with whatever outfits you have on them that day. If they're having difficulty toileting in that outfit, maybe you want to change and make sure it's something that they're able to maneuver to go to the restroom and get back to the classroom, because teachers are not going to be able to leave and assist in the restroom. Also, make sure they have been practicing and know how to do their hand washing and flushing the toilet. So that is very helpful. And along with the toileting I mentioned, make sure they're wearing comfortable clothes. In kindergarten, we're moving up and down all around. And I know in my classroom, we're always active. So make sure they're in clothes that they're going to be able to move in the classroom, sitting on the floor, on the carpet, or getting up when they're outside on the playground, that they're able to maneuver on the swings or just running around. And with that, have them in some good closed-in shoes. I know we like flip-flops, it's summer, but I am really big into safety. And make sure they're in a good shoe so when they're running, they're not tripping over sandals or sandals are falling off or flip-flops, and they have a good sturdy shoe to help them make it through their day. One other thing is about lunch. This year, the grant has been funded and all of our schools are going to have free lunch once again for all students. So you have the choice for your child to have the hot school lunch, or you have the choice of providing them with a lunch from home. But with that being said, remember in our school day, we know that eating time is a social time, but make sure that your child knows how to stay focused and eat their lunch in a 15 to 20-minute lunch time. So you can practice that this summer. You can set a timer, make sure they're knowing how to eat during that time period and stay focused. So they're having enough food in their stomach to help them with the second half of the day. If they're bringing lunch from home, make sure they're able to open all the containers, because our lunchroom staffs are not always able to go around and open everything. So one of the things with kindergarten, we're working on independence. And with that being said, them being able to open their sandwiches or open their juices are very helpful. So those are just a few things that will be helpful for you to start with even today with your child. Anything else, I will respond to in the questions later. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Connie. And next we have Yamilet Velasquez, kindergarten teacher at Agnes Risley.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. So I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about what to expect for our kindergarten testing week. So our kindergarten testing week is from August 9th through the 13th. So you'll schedule a 1-hour appointment at whatever school your child will be attending. You can call the office, call the secretary there and schedule an appointment. And then your child will come in with us for about an hour, whatever day you choose. And we'll be administering to them our Bergans test. And that's just a test that lets us know how your child is coming into kindergarten. It's just information for us, nothing you guys need to worry about. Some of the things on that assessment are, we're gonna ask your children to count for us. We're gonna show them the letters of the alphabet and see which ones they recognize. We're also going to be assessing their gross motor and their visual motor skills. So just seeing if they can trace shapes or transfer shapes. And then we're also going to be seeing if they know their personal information, like how to write their name, they can state their name and their date of birth. And like I said, that's going to be scheduled through your school for the date for that. Casey, is there something else?
Thank you. Yamilet, will you talk to us a little bit about what's expected as far as what the children will learn in kindergarten?
Sure, of course. So your child is going to be learning a lot of academic, but also a lot of social skills. As far as academics goes, your students are going to be learning their letter names, their letter sounds. They're also going to be learning a lot of new vocabulary, especially sight words, and that's going to help them in their reading and their writing. They're also going to be learning how to read and how to identify important parts of a story, such as the characters and their setting and major events. And like I mentioned, they're going to be learning how to write, and they're also going to learn how to take turns in speaking and listening. And then as far as math, they're going to be learning how to count and how to read and recognize numbers. They're also going to learn how to compare numbers and how to solve addition and subtraction problems using their fingers or drawing pictures and using manipulatives. And they're also going to be learning their 2 and 3D shapes.
Great. Thank you so much, Yamilet. Really good information. Now we're going to go to the questions that have been asked by families. And some were already submitted ahead of time, and then we're also going to weave in the questions that you're putting in the Q&A as well. So we're going to go back to Connie, and we're going to talk, these first few questions are about nutrition. So Connie, what does the schedule look like as far as breaks and for lunch? And then also, are nut products allowed in schools?
All right. As far as the breaks and for lunch, that is really set up by the schools because different schools in the district have different bell times when they start and they end. So that is something important for you to check with the school that your child is zoned to. And if you go to the Washoe County School District website, there is a link, a heading that says schools. And under that heading, you will find all of the district schools listed, and each of the schools has a website. So on that information, it can give you some more start times about when their breaks are going to be and the lunch time, because lunch times usually come maybe depending on the enrollment of the school. Some may start between 10:45 and going up to 12:30. So that is depending on enrollment, the school size, and the bell time for that school. So that is something to check with for you, like I said, at your individual school. The other one is about nut products. And our schools have not really had a no nut policy in the entire school. But what has happened, usually classrooms, if a student has a nut allergy, there will be a sign that is posted on that individual classroom to make them aware that there is someone with nut allergy in there. There's not a time to try to single out a student for a nut allergy, but it will be posted on the classroom door. So as people come in, they're aware of that. In the cafeterias, in the elementary school, and I know also in some of the other school, middle and high school, they usually have a designated table just for the students that have a nut allergy, and they can sit there and eat their lunches. So they'll be away from other students that may have a nut allergy. And sometimes, depending on the severity of a child's nut allergy, that will be handled at the school at their discretion to make sure the children stay safe.
Thank you, Connie. The next several questions that we have, I think we had about 6 or 7 of them, all around the COVID mitigation plans for next school year. So Rhonda, if you would like to just talk a little bit about what the plans are so far that we know for going back next school year.
Okay, well, the message that we've received from the Washoe County School District Office is that everything is going to remain the same as when we left until further notice. So hopefully they will, the restrictions will ease up a little bit, but right now, students that are 9 and younger do not have to wear a mask, and students who are 10 and up do have to wear a mask at school. And right now we're not allowed to have volunteers in our building, but we'll, stay tuned. Hopefully that'll ease up. The sanitizing will continue. So our custodians are doing a fine job on sanitizing every time, all day long, actually, the school building, especially in the cafeteria after kids eat, and the bathrooms, especially as well. They also sanitize the student desks. So we try to keep all the germs at bay to make sure that we stay as healthy as possible.
Rhonda, on that line of questioning, if a child is not feeling well, what does the parent do?
Well, if the child isn't feeling well, we ask, a lot of times they'll call school and they'll say, my child isn't feeling well. We say, well, what's happening? Do they have a fever? Then for sure keep them home. Some students are just maybe a little bit nervous, where they'll say, oh, my stomach hurts, or maybe they want to see if they can get out of coming to school because they might be a little bit anxious. And we really recommend that the parents go ahead and send them. And then at school, if they're still complaining, of course, we send them to the health clinic. Their temperature is taken there. And if our school nurse is there, she'll evaluate the child. And of course, we call the parent. So at that time, the parent can make the decision whether they want to come and take the child home. But if your child is coughing, complains of a sore throat, or then definitely keep them home. But if you have, with the allergies, a lot of times kids are having stuffy noses. If they just have one of the symptoms, it's okay to send them to school. So if they have a stuffy nose, but no sore throat, no headache, no fever, go ahead and send them to school. But if they have a fever and a headache, of course, keep them home.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. The next several questions Connie Hall is going to answer for us, kindergarten teacher at Diedrichson, and they're all on the first day of school type of questions. So Connie, first question is, when am I going to meet my child's teacher?
That will usually come when we have the testing that is going to take place between August 9th and 13th. So when you sign up at the school office, and parents will usually accompany their child to the testing, and that can be an opportunity before school time for you to meet the teacher.
Great. And Connie, other questions are, what are common things that kindergarten teachers and staff wish parents would do to help prepare children for school? And then what are things we can do to help? Oh, same question. So what can we do to help get ready for school?
Okay, as far as the parents, there were a few things that I mentioned at the beginning. And to add to that, something so important is to work with your child to make sure that they're becoming a good listener at home and they're understanding how to follow directions, that they're listening because in a classroom setting, there's going to be more than one child. And listening to the teacher or the other adults in the school are going to be very important, that they're able to follow directions and have a respecting of the teachers and authority at the school, because that will make it so much better that when they're asked to do something by a teacher, by a staff, by the administration, that they are able to listen and follow directions. Another thing that would be helpful is to make sure that they're able to spell their name. That is so important, that they're able to spell their first name and their last name. And I know there's so many times that we liked our children may have nicknames that we go by, but when they're enrolled in school, so much is geared around their given name that is on their birth certificate. And when they're doing testing and doing other utilizing our Dreambox or Kids A to Z through the district, everything goes by their name that they're registered with. And there are times when kids are so used to using these nicknames. I've had students, they're looking and they don't recognize their own name. So it's nice, you want to have those fun names, but make sure that they actually know their given name so they're able to recognize it in school and to be able to spell it, and that they can differentiate between my nickname and my given name that is going to be used in school. So practice with the spelling, the first name and the last name. And as Yamilet mentioned about doing the counting, that is so important for them, understanding the counting, and that listening and following directions is going to be very important.
Thank you, Connie. There's several questions about signing up for the Bergantz test. And so if you don't have an appointment already for that screening appointment that Yami and Connie have talked about during the week of August 9th through the 12th or the 13th, go ahead and give the school a call. If you don't reach a secretary at your child's school by calling them, try calling during business hours. So like 9 to 3 would be a really good time. And then Rhonda, we have some questions about how to find out about the bus. Will you tell us a little bit about how to find out which bus? And then the last question I want to answer really quick is that it is a full day program for all kindergartners in Washoe County.
Yes, to find out what bus and the time of the bus for your child, if you go on to the Washoe County School District website and search under schools and transportation, you go to a search engine there and you enter in your child's grade and your physical address of your property, and up will come a bus stop and time for your school, for your child to attend. Right now it's not working, it's not up, it's probably being amended. So go ahead and wait a couple weeks for that to happen. If all else fails, go ahead and call the school or transportation, actually, they would know more. Call the transportation department, and that phone number is 337-7769. And hopefully they'll get that website up fast after, especially if a lot of people start calling them. But anyway, that's their phone number, and go ahead and give them a call if the website is not working for you. Always be at the bus stop too, about between 5 and 10 minutes early, and also teach your child how to wait at the bus stop. That's really important, that they're not waiting in the street, they're on the sidewalk or up on the curb. They're not playing on the, usually the bus stops are in front of someone's home. So please remind them to be respectful of the property in front of the house where the bus is stopping. A lot of times we get complaints from our neighbors saying that the kids are running on their lawn or throwing rocks or whatever. So if you can also just remind your child the best way to act at the bus stop, that will be totally appreciated by all the neighbors.
Thank you so much. I want to thank Rhonda and Connie and Yamilet for their time today. We did not get to answer all the questions, but one thing I would like to say is if you go to the school district website, so washoeschools.net, and in the search bar, if you put your child's school in that search bar on the top right-hand side, then you will get a lot of these questions answered, like back to school or before and after school programs, what time school starts, what the schedule may look like for your child. And so all of those site specifics, you can first go to the Washoe County School website and then search by your school name. We want to thank you for your time today. We do have another one coming up. So if you didn't have all your questions answered, we will try at the next one that we have. All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you again.